Not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
Hey, we're back here today with another episode of the magAMedia.org podcast. I'm Andrew at Smalltown Andrew. I'm here with Rob at RobJH1 on Twitter. Going to talk about a variety of subjects. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing well, ready to dive into it and dissect the news for our listeners and viewers and readers.
That's great. First thing we're going to talk about today is Trump's been in London meeting with the leaders of NATO, starting off with Macron. They had a press conference today. After that, I believe he had a press conference with Justin Trudeau. And they openly disputed many things. So refreshing to see President Trump stick up for America and our interest compared to what we've seen from President Obama when he was over there and just kiss all these guys' ass. What do you think, Rob?
No, I agree. I think what we see now and what people are most afraid of is that we now have a president who we can say is a president. We have someone who is not going to bow down or kowtow to other countries. And what I find very interesting and refreshing about Donald Trump is that he tells it the way it is. He's not going to say it behind your back. He's going to say it in your face. And he called out Macron for saying that, if you recall a little history, when Trump became president, all the lefties were afraid that Trump was going to destroy NATO because he was demanding that they pay their fair share. Well, look at what's happening now. They're now, some of them, paying their fair share. And now you have Macron who's coming out saying that NATO is dead. Like, what are they doing? And then Trump comes back and defends NATO and says, I can't believe he said that. That's not nice. That's ugly. It's like only Trump could do something like this, could put fear in these guys to start paying their fair share. Once they start paying their fair share, then you have Macron, who was so for NATO earlier on during the Trump presidency, comes out and says that NATO is dead. It's like, it's unbelievable. But Trump is doing it.
They're all for it when the United States is paying for everything, but once President Trump wants everyone else to start paying their fair share, it's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, and not to mention, I agree completely, Andy. And then also, during their press conference, when NATO was, not NATO, but Macron was given this long, exponentially answer as far as supporting ISIS and what we have to do, and Trump comes around and goes, that's the most, that's a nice way of avoiding the question, and that's the reason why he's a politician. It's like classic Trump, classic.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
To call him out right there and then.
Moving on to Hunter Biden, he's caught himself up in some trouble. He did not show up to court for his baby mama.
Baby mama drama.
Yeah, his baby mama drama. The ex-stripper who he had a baby with. Apparently Hunter Biden's trying to run, but a DNA test proved that indeed it was Hunter Biden's.
Right.
Peter Doocy of Fox News asked Joe Biden about it, and Joe Biden got very defensive that he was even asked the question about his son's child, Joe Biden's grandson. Yep. We've just seen this Hunter Biden, he's been in trouble for getting kicked out of the military, for failing drug tests.
Yep.
He's had cocaine problems.
Oh, God.
Could you imagine if this was one of President Trump's kids with this kind of rap sheet, what the mainstream media would be saying?
Wait, folks. I just saw this flash news. Kamala Harris drops out of the 2020 presidential race.
Wow.
Cross. Oh, my gosh. That's a big one. Wow. Sorry about that, Andy. It just came through that she drops out.
She was polling at 1%. I seen in New Hampshire a couple weeks ago. I actually did an article about it.
Whoa! That's monumental.
Yeah.
I've got a tweet about it, guys. Kamala Harris dropped dead on arrival.
It's so funny. I remember about a year ago, she was all the Democrats' favorite. They thought that she claimed she was going to prosecute President Trump. And ever since then, her campaign just fell apart.
Yeah, well, one of the things about it is that, she never caught on. People never gravitated toward her. But I think one of the things that she should use, and she should say, especially the media, is that they should call out the Democrats and say, hey, this was a woman, it was a black woman, and you guys did not support her, especially in this Me Too movement. They're consumed with gender politics. gender politics and race politics. I am not going to let them off with this one. I am going to tweet about it. I am going to write about it because she was a black woman, a woman who had credentials, but they never gave her a chance. Now, would I vote for her? Heck no. But I want to call them out on their hypocrisy because they did not support her. Ever since Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard, dealt her that severe blow during one of the debates, I mean, her presence just started tanking and no one rallied behind her. And it's interesting that Barack Obama, who once said that she was a good-looking senator when he was president, he didn't even seem to support her. Neither did Michelle. Of course, Michelle wasn't going to support her because Michelle has a mean girl inferiority complex. So she wasn't going to support Kamala Harris. Oprah Winfrey didn't support her. So now, where does it go? Maybe she's jockeying to be Joe Biden's VP. But I think this is huge. I think this is a huge moment that we need to call out the liberal media and the Democrats for not supporting a black woman's candidacy. So who are they supporting now? I guess Pete Buttigieg. I can't believe he's still in and she's out. Wow. That's
it looks like the dominoes are starting to fall on some of the lame duck Democrat candidates that aren't polling well. You got to wonder how long Cory Booker's going to last. Kind of surprised. He's still in the race. Yep,
he should be biting the dust pretty soon also. Because he, as far as raising money, there's no money there. No one is supporting him. But Pete Buttigieg? I mean, then I saw the other day, he was in, I think, South Carolina with some black minister, and the guy was saying that the Mexicans are coming back to take back their land, and Pete's there shaking his head. I'm like, are you serious? Are we doing this again to black voters? Are we trying to sell them again a bill of goods? It's like, folks, come on, wake up and look at what these black ministers are doing who are liberal, who are fleecing the flocks every Sunday morning, taking tithes and offering, and then going off and buying these huge mega mansions, mega churches, sports cars, luxury cars, and for themselves and their family, whereas members of their flock are living on public assistance. Wake up, folks. This has got to stop.
For the Democrat Party supposedly being the inclusive party, I just read here that now that Harris is dropped out, the current stage for the Democrat debate in December is all white people. Yang, Gabbard, and Booker have not yet qualified for that debate. So currently, the Democrat debate in December is all white people.
Wow.
Not a good look for them.
Not a good look at all. It shows the hypocrisy. It shows the hypocrisy with the Democratic Party. That's what it is.
If it were that way with the Republican Party, you'd hear on the mainstream media nonstop a bunch of old white men dominating the Republican Party again, but their party is no better. They've got Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. Give me a break.
It's unbelievable at the dynamics and what these guys are selling. And that just segues into our next topic about the president is overseas and you have Jerry Nadler running some sham impeachment deal. Whereas in 1998, he was out saying, oh, we can't steal the vote from the people. We can't do this. We can't do that. I'm like, so some weight loss years later, you're now saying impeach the president, but for what? Based on what? Then tomorrow I hear, Andy, that they're going to bring all these college professors to try to educate their low informational voters as to what impeachment means and what bribery means. I'm like, are you folks serious? You're going to waste taxpayer dollars to have college professors to come out and tell us what we already know as to you're trying to overthrow the government. It's actually a coup d'etat, but you're trying to say that you're impeaching. You have to remove him. Why? Because he has a strong economy, because he's standing up to our enemies, because he's standing up to NATO, because he's saying, hey, we need to make things in America, because he's telling black people, what do you have to lose? This is the reason why you want to impeach this president, because you guys can't get it right, because you guys don't know what you're doing. So as a result, we have to impeach a president who has the economy, a booming economy. Our economy is the envy of the world, but you want to remove him and replace him with Joe Biden, the guy who has hair on his legs, who wants little kids to sit in his lap, the guy who's always smelling women's hair, the guy who's sucking on his wife's fingers. He doesn't know if he's coming or going. He's a bumbling idiot. That's the guy you want to be president? Or Pete Buttigieg, who can't even...
is backfiring on the Democrats.
It's a joke.
That impeachment today is polling lower than it did back in March before the Mueller report even came out. And now here we have a new impeachment that the American people are not behind. The numbers keep dropping. And then Jerry Nadler, he already failed in the Mueller investigation. Here's another Adam Schiff. Made a bunch of promises that they were going to impeach President Trump, came up short, and now here we are again with Jerry Nadler. It's the same old cast of characters.
Yep. The same old cast of characters that stumbled the first time. They'll stumble again. And I also hear, Andy, that they're planning on bringing up some of the whole Russian collusion. They want to throw that in on their articles. I'm like, are you folks serious? Mm-hmm. There was no there.
Doug Collins said that Jerry Nadler just contacted the GOP on Sunday about what witnesses they want to call up for the impeachment hearings. And he said the number one witness the GOP wants is Adam Schiff.
Yeah.
To put him on the stand and be able to cross-examine Adam Schiff and find out what he knew, what his involvement has been throughout this whole whistleblower impeachment sham that the Democrats are trying to run on the American people.
Right. Well, if you think back, Andy, when this whole thing got started with the whistleblower spy, Eric Ciarmella, and what is the other guy's name, that army guy? He's also a whistleblower, no matter what people say. He's a spy as well. That Schiff was so adamant that the whistleblower, also known as a spy, should have his say, that he should come out and tell the American public what he knows. Now, all at once, he's faded away. Oh, we don't need him. Why don't we need him? Why can't he come up and tell us what he knows, who he talked to, etc., etc.? Well, they don't want him there because they know that he will more than likely implicate Adam Schiff and company. And then Nancy Pelosi, if you recall back in the spring, she said, nope, I have no appetite for impeachment. When George Bush Jr. was the president, they wanted me to impeach him over Iraq, and I said, no go. But now she wants to impeach the president based upon absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. Fake Russian collusion, fake, it goes from quid pro quo to extortion to bribery. I mean, all lies. It's all made up. And if the voters are falling for this, and I believe a lot of them are, especially the Democrats, they're sitting back. They know this is all a lie. They know it's a ruse. They know that there's no there. But they don't care. You know why? Because they know they can't win an election. They are so afraid that if they can't take Donald Trump out, that black voters and other minority voters will start looking at the Republican Party, and rightfully so, and move over and say, hey, we've had enough of the demagoguery of the Democrat Party. We've had enough of your lies. We've had enough of you only coming around during an election. But after that, you've forgotten all about us because now your new brown baby are coming across the border. So you're now more concerned about them. And I would tell them, the brown babies, the Mexicans that are coming across the border, beware of the Democrats. They will use you and misuse you and then lose you until 4 years when it's election time, and then you'll see them in your community. Simple as that.
That's right. Speaking of failed Democrats, today Breitbart released an article that Hillary Clinton, in a video interview she did actually, where she says she is inundated with requests for her to join the already crowded 2020 Democrat candidates. And
oh no!
Not yet ruled it out.
Oh my, we really do need Hillary Clinton, the lady who lives in the woods up under a shoe. We need her to come in and spread her lies because she's entitled. She's a white old woman, so she should be the president, if nothing else, because she was robbed of the presidency in 2008 when Barack Obama was running. He was a black man, and they chose to go with him. And then Donald Trump, oh no, she helped the Russians collude, and then Donald Trump won. So she should definitely be able to waltz in there and then be crowned the first female president. I don't think so, Hillary. You have to work for it, okay? And all these, you saying that you're inundated with people saying run, run, run. Okay, CNN doesn't count. Neither does Chelsea. I doubt Bill is telling her that. Neither does your granddaughter, Charlotte, or her husband, and the other little grandchild that you have. They don't count, Hillary. Okay, you can't say that you're inundated simply because they're sending you emails, or they're sitting around Thanksgiving table saying, "Oh, Ma, you should run. They want you to run." I don't think so, Hillary. Take care of your house first. Okay?
The woman's completely delusional.
She's delusional.
Also, yesterday, the Washington Post did an article on Melania Trump's fashion choices, saying that the jacket she wore for the Christmas unveiling looked ridiculous, and just completely bashing our First Lady.
Oh gosh, I guess I missed that.
Yeah,
they said that.
See this one?
I missed it. The Washington Post, let me get this right. The Washington Post that's owned by Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is the same guy who was caught in a compromised position with sending pictures to his lover of his weenie, is now trying to give Melania Trump fashion tips.
You never heard that from all the ridiculous outfits that Michelle Obama wore, that they'd completely let her off the hook.
You know, I mean, that just opens the door. There's one outfit that Michelle wore after there are two that I can point to. When she was the first one was she was president, I meant the FLOTUS. They were in the White House, and I remember her getting off the plane with cut-off jeans and a sort of like a shirt that she had tied in the front, and I'm thinking, what the devil is that? Then I said, okay, maybe she's trying to say, hey, women, we can relax. We don't have to look glamorous all the time. I'm like, okay, I'll give her a pass. But then once she left the White House, and she went on her book tour, she had the audacity to put on a loud yellow canary Versace type getup. What the heck was she thinking? Or why wasn't she thinking? So unless they're going to criticize her for wearing that getup, I think that Melania does not need their advice. Okay, come on, folks, please give me a break. I mean, who would wear that ugly outfit?
We just pulled up the picture of the outfit you were talking about.
Oh my gosh!
She had on like these sparkly like pants on underneath them. It was just completely hideous.
It was too much. It was too busy. And generally, you can look at my tweets, and I've always said, criticize Michelle on her politics, nothing personal. But the moment she starts attacking people, I mean, it's all fair game. And the fact that and I'm going back to this because it really disturbs me, Andy, the fact that she has not stood up to these fashion mags and said, hey, Melania is the first lady. We want to look back in history. We want to make certain that she is captured. Michelle is yet to do that because Michelle is jealous. Michelle has an inferiority complex. She's afraid that if these magazines start covering Melania, that they'll forget about her. And right now, she's in a happy space in her life because she is relishing this popularity contest with everyone loving her. I mean, that's fine. Love it if you want to, but come on. There's enough room for everyone.
That's exactly right. You'll never see any videos of Melania like we've seen the famous Ellen appearance from Michelle Obama.
Right, and you won't, because even if they were to invite her, if Ellen were to invite her on her show, she would probably attack her and like, well, why don't you tell your husband this and why don't you that? Because that's her husband and she's not the president, Ellen. The same way you were saying that people shouldn't have attacked you when you were sitting with George Bush at a Houston Astros game. Why would you want them to attack Melania? I mean, I don't get it. The hypocrisy, again, going back to the hypocrisy and the double standard of the media, liberal media, and the Democrat Party is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a real shame that America's really missing out on the best first lady we've ever had, right? Because the mainstream media won't put her on and won't give her any fair coverage.
Because they're jealous. And someone sent me a tweet the other day when I wrote the article about badass women having to be conservatives. Someone sent me a tweet trying to be funny, sent me a tweet of Melania doing her modeling days and she was nude. And I'm like, okay, so what? If you got it, flaunt it. I mean, that's not going to affect me. She's still our first lady. And what you're doing is that you're just giving her more publicity. She has a great body. She was modeling then. Models happen to model sometimes with their clothes off. So what's the big deal? So they thought they were being funny. I'm like, no, buddy, this is going to backfire. Melania is a very attractive woman. If she got it, flaunt it.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think there's anybody who thinks any less of Melania when they post those nude photos of her, because she actually looks good. It's not like it's a nude photo of Hillary Clinton or something.
Oh gosh, please! I don't want to. Oh, go. I dare think about that. Although she probably thinks that she could pull it off, but no. Even on her best day, the way she looks now, all frumpy. I'm like, do we want great grandma in the White House? I mean, it would be constant issues with her because she has this superiority complex. Now, pass. Hillary, stay at home, stay in the woods, go in the woods and remain there and become a little old lady who lives in a shoe with your grandchildren eating porridge and apple pie.
And now here's another thing I wrote about that I thought was interesting over the week is that Senate Bill 46 in Virginia would outlaw martial arts training and shooting instructors. They would place it as a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. So they want to not only take the guns away, they want to ban martial arts and instructors. Seems like rapists would really appreciate this law.
Yeah, I guess next on the agenda is to ban knives. These people are crazy. That is the reason why, come November, we have to run to the polls. Mm-hmm. Why don't you want to ban martial arts or the instructors? Are you serious? Who sits around and comes up with all this craziness? I mean, I really want to I don't want to meet the person because I might slap the person, but I mean, to have that much time on your hands to sit there and go, martial arts, let's ban that. This just maybe Bloomberg came up with it because in New York City, he wanted to put a ban on large size sodas. We don't want that big gulp cups that you would get sodas. He was like, no, we don't need that. And we also want to limit your salt intake. This is not a nanny state. So the folks who are in Virginia who are trying to ban martial arts and all this other stuff, folks, get a life. There are more important things out there that you should be focusing on. Okay, like banning having all these crazy men go to schools in dresses reading to our kids. That's an issue. That's a problem because you're confusing kids. If you want to do it in the privacy of your home, that's fine. But taking it to schools? No. But come on. That's something you should be thinking about as opposed to banning martial arts, which is like a sports recreation. Come on, folks. Jeez.
I still haven't forgotten about earlier this year, or it might have been last year at this point, where the Virginia governor got busted for wearing blackface, the same guy who advocated for late-term abortion. And then the backup for the governor, the lieutenant general governor, he had abuse allegations.
Yeah.
And then the third guy down had blackface pictures as well.
It's a blackface state down there, I guess. And what's interesting is that this guy, everyone that supported him, they were elected. I think he was reelected. And again, we have the Democrats that are always out there preaching about who's racist, who's not racist. Now, again, I don't know what was in the governor's heart those many years ago, but to deny it and then say, I think during a press conference, I was doing the Michael Jackson. I wish he had done a move. We should say, we should do a tweet and say, hey, do the Michael Jackson move. We want to see if you can do it. We think you're lying. But the fact that this guy had the blackface and he refused to step down, and then he talked about cuddling little babies if they're going to make comfortable before they kill them, and then the lieutenant governor who's out forcing women to give him blowjobs. This is the Democrat Party, the Me Too party, the party that's supposed to protect women and protect children. These are the people that are attacking women and children. And of course, I've got to throw in Joe Biden, who likes for little kids to rub the blonde hair on his legs so they can see if it's going to go up or down. And then once they're done, he wants the little kids to come and sit in his lap and say, oh, are you happy to see me, or is that a gun in your pocket? I don't know, Joe. I don't know. What's going on there, Joe? Come on. These people are nuts. They're crazy. They're perverts.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're perverts.
Moving on to some tech censorship last night, the popular conservative Terrence K. Williams said that Twitter's threatened to suspend him, and now Facebook just sent him a message saying that his material is not authentic. And then we also seen on 60 Minutes this week, more than 300 ads by the Trump campaign have been taken down by Google and YouTube already leading into this election. This is the real election interference, if you ask me. It's the tech conglomerates teaming up to try and sway anyone who uses the internet, which is basically everyone, to vote for a Democrat.
Right. It's dangerous. I mean, I'm all for freedom of speech, freedom of expression. I mean, I've seen a lot of ads that are out there that are completely false. I've seen some ads that are out there vicious, showing Trump being killed, beheaded, his family being killed, beheaded, and they seem to be okay with it. But when they put out an ad that says, vote for Trump, oh my God, we can't do that. This is wrong. They want to take it down. I have a problem with that. I mean, I monitor my Twitter account, my Facebook account, and my Instagram account. And it's only a matter of time before they start tinkering with my account. Well, I won't say it's only a matter of time. They have started, because I've had a lot of people to come to me and say, hey, I tried to retweet your tweet and Twitter said that it was deleted. So I go back in and I retweet the tweet. So if you folks see that me retweeting my tweet, it's because someone has contacted me saying that, hey, they just took down your tweet. I don't know what the heck they're afraid of. Why are you afraid of the truth? The truth will set you free, will make you free. But they don't want the truth out there. They want lies. They want lies about Russia collusion. Speaking of Russia collusion and the lies, you had Chuck Todd on TV the other day attacking Representative Kennedy because he was saying that Ukraine did meddle with the election. I mean, that is a fact, folks. They did. You can't get around it. Yeah, Russia did it. Russia is always doing it. But so did the Ukrainians. And for Chuck Todd, who is a Tim Russell wannabe, who will never be, to attack the congressman because of that, it's over the top. I mean, these guys, they control CNN, MSNBC, they control all the social media, they control all the newspapers. And then when you have one little voice in the dark that comes out and tries to support the president, they go, wow. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Fox News seems to have the same problem with Chris Wallace on their Sunday show.
Yeah, you know,
MSNBC or CNBC has with Chuck Todd.
Yeah, Chris, he straddles the fence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he does not like the president, and it's obvious. And he claims, "Oh, I'm just doing my job." Well, if doing your job is attacking the president, telling lies, okay, that's fine. Then you're not a journalist. You are a pundit. You are a talk show host. And I'm going to write about that, a talk show host. Because if you're a journalist, you're not supposed to have an opinion. If you do, I don't want to know your opinion. Just report the news. Why haven't you guys reported the fact that the Democrats are attacking the president when he's overseas? Had that happened to Barack Obama, you guys would have went ape crazy. But you're not saying anything about it. Okay, that is a huge problem. Why aren't you reporting it? Why aren't you? And I hate that. We need for the journalists to start calling out these other journalists and saying, hey, they're being biased. They're not reporting the news because they have their integrity has been compromised because they have a dog in the fight, or so they think. And this has to stop. So yes, Chris Wallace is completely biased against the president. He does not like the president. Whereas Bill Hemmer and Sandra Smith, they are giving the news. And we spoke about this during our last taping. I mean, this is nonsense. And people need to be aware of it, that CNN, Anderson Cooper, who claims to be a journalist, is a talk show host. He's giving his opinion.
That Juan Williams just said that President Trump's trip to Afghanistan was a photo op.
Oh, God. Did Barack Obama ever go to Afghanistan or Iraq during when he was in office, during the holidays?
No, not on Thanksgiving.
Right. I don't remember him going. He was too afraid. Oh, I might mess up my pretty face. I might mess up my makeup. I can't go. My mascara. I can't go. It's like, are you serious? He never went. And as far as Juan Williams is a wannabe journalist. He's done his time. Maybe back in the day he was good. And folks, you should also know that Juan Williams has had sexual allegations charged against him as well. So while he tries to be this little puritanical boy, little Sunday school boy. No, don't believe it, because during his heydays, he was a pointy dog. Didn't hear it from me, but look it up. So whatever he says about the president, he's on the 5. He's always looking as if though he has indigestion whenever they say something positive about the president. But I am so glad that they push back, that Jesse Waters pushes back on him, and he gives it to him, because Juan is a complete hack. He is biased. Completely biased.
Yes, sir. One more thing I want to touch on today is, did you see that Governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, is putting in a pro-choice senator instead of Doug Collins, who's been working his butt off in these impeachment hearings?
You know, Andy,
supporting the president and the America First agenda. And,
you know, I can't figure that one out. I'm literally scratching my head, because during the governor's race between he and Stacey Abrams, I tweeted my support for him. I stood behind him. I called her out when she went into this whole, oh, this is racism, this is this. I stood by him. And then to hear that he's going to put Kelly Loeffler, who is a, right there at Planned Hood. She is, she has a lot of money bags, but what else does she have? What is she made of? What can she do besides get there and be an obstructionist with Mitt Romney, because she supported Mitt Romney? Governor Kemp, this is for you. Listen, we supported you when times were hard. We supported you when, the separation between the votes, what you won and what Stacey had, it was very thin. But we stood up. It's time for you to stand up, because you wouldn't have gotten elected had President Trump not stood behind you. So you need to reconsider what you're doing. I'm sure Miss Loeffler is a lovely lady, and I'm sure she's astute in what she does, but we need some really heavy movers and shakers here, so that the country can keep going. So again, I'm appealing to your common sense. Please think long and hard before you make this decision, because this decision could affect not only you, but it could affect the presidency. It could affect conservatism. Now, not to say that, she'll get in, she'll win, but come on. We don't need any more acrimoning. We need for you to stand lock and step with the president and do the right thing. Okay, Governor? Just do the right thing. That's it. Unbelievable.
That's exactly right. Thank you, Rob. Is there anything else you'd like to touch on today?
Nope. I think that's it. I would encourage all of our readers and viewers to definitely visit our site, magAMedia.org, and see the interesting news that we are dissecting and presenting to you.
That's right. New articles up every single day. Well, guys, please listen to us. I'll probably have another episode up sometime this week. We'll see you later. Thank you.
Great. Thanks a lot.